Well, hello, hello, hello. It looks like we are live. Just going to give it a second or two to make sure it's propagating elsewhere. There's always a teeny bit of a delay, and then if you don't have premium on YouTube, then it also can. Gotta see if I can hear myself. Can I hear? Yep, I can hear. Yay. Okay, so everybody should be here. Yay, we made it. It is Wednesday, and that means our free card with purchase class is happening today. Yay! And we are focused on Valentine's Day stuff as well because we definitely want to make sure that if you are wanting to make some Valentine's cards or have some fun stuff for weddings and things like that, then you're definitely going to want to see what's available now, because if some things sell out before we get towards closer to Valentine's Day, there's a high chance they won't repopulate some of them, if that makes sense. Um, so that happened last year with the Clover Punch. We had a great St. Patrick's Day set, and you can always get the stamp set all the way through, but the punch sold out early, and I had a whole lot going on in my life at that time, and I wasn't able to get it, and so I still don't have the punch. Fortunately, I have a scan and cut, so I can stamp it, and I can have my scan and cut it for me. I don't need the punch for it. But I wished I'd had it. I really do. And I don't want you to have to be in that position where you really wanted something and it went away early because of the timing of it. And so that's why I wanted to focus on the Valentine stuff early and the Easter stuff next. So we are going to be playing with some of the Easter stuff in the next month or so. So the Excellent Eggs bundle would be one that would be awesome to get if that's something that you are interested in doing those kinds of cards classes, just to be on the safe side. No, I have no forewarning, no knowledge of anything being low inventory or anything of the kind. I just don't want anybody to get caught unawares. And it's like even our Halloween stuff. It kept going out of stock early, and at a certain point, they just didn't bring it back because it wouldn't come back in time for Halloween. And the same thing with our autumn and Thanksgiving type stuff. There were some things that went out of stock early, and because of how close it was to when it was going to be happening, the event, they just didn't restock it. And I just don't want that to happen to you. All right, so this is Harmony Stamps with Michelle, and I am Michelle, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today's class is a card class like I do every Wednesday. I will be showing you 3 different cards and how to make them. If you want the make and takes for those cards, all you have to do is use the host code that is below me on the screen right now, or in the description, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. The host code is in the description. You put in your order of $35 or more before shipping and handling, and make sure I can see your address and things like that, and I will send you the paper and embellishments, and if it's die cuts, I'll pre-die cut them for you. I cannot stamp for you, so you'll need your own stamp set, you'll need your own inks, your own adhesives to assemble them, but you'll also get a PDF for how to make all the cards, including cutting instructions if that's something you want. And the bundle we're working with today is $53, so it will easily hit that $35 mark. Plus, it'll get you a free celebration item, which is what you need for the paper we're going to be using today, which is pretty. It's my favorite paper. I'm not going to lie. I love this paper. Okay, so that is that. I also want to make sure you know that I do have a newsletter, and the newsletter for this week is going to be just a touch late. It'll probably go out tomorrow just because I got behind the 8 ball this week and haven't had time to get it out. But every week, if you want to sign up for my newsletter, and that link is also in the description, it's absolutely free. You can cancel at any time if it's just more than you want to deal with, but once a week minimum, up to 3, usually not more than 3. I will be, at least one of them will be telling you what I'm going to be doing this week, and how you can get the make and takes for that week and what you would want to purchase with it. and anything special that Stamping Up has going on, and all of my in-person classes that I have going on as well. So if you wanted to partake in any of those or reach out to me directly, it's a great way to stay up to date with what I have going on, any specials I may be running, and all of that. So I would love for you to do that. And also during Celebration, they have that awesome join special. And honestly, being a discount shopper is the best, which really is how I started with this. And that's how the vast majority of most demonstrators are doing it, for the most awesome personal discount on their product. Some of them are running it as a very successful business, but that is, probably less than 10% are running it as a full-time business, and that is generating enough income for everybody. And, if you do want to run this as a business, there's lots of resources, and I have access to those for you in addition to my own personal resources. As an accountant, I can help you with a lot of things. Trust me. All right, let's get rid of the host code on the screen. Let me know if you're watching and if you're liking what you're seeing. Today we didn't have time to fully flesh out everything, but I have some good ideas of how it's going to go. We are using product from both the Celebration brochure and the mini catalog. We are using the Most Adored Most Adored 12x12 Designer Series paper for the paper on all three of our cards, and it is beautiful, beautiful paper. Everything on the A side has got gold foiling, and then on the back side is Flirty Flamingo and Real Red, basic white, and just really pretty patterns. You've got some gingham, you've got check, you've got hearts, you've got marbling, you've got a lot of fun choices. And we will be using that today, and that is on page 9. With a $50 purchase, you can get that paper for free. That could be your choice. And then in our mini catalog, on page 18, we are using the Adoring Hearts bundle. And that bundle includes the stamp set, the embossing folder, and the dies. And that is $53 in the US. And that again would qualify you to get sorry, it's making noise and I don't know why. That would qualify you to get the make and takes. Now, additionally, if you find that you just aren't going to purchase this and you still want the cards, then you can do that $35 and let me know, sending me an email or reaching out to me through phone, text, however you need to, and just say that you just want the cards, and then I will pre-make 3, one of each card for you, and send those instead of the make and take. So you do have a choice in that matter. So this is the embossing folder, and you can use the brayer to ink up this side, place your paper in, close it, and emboss it, and then that will put these patterns in ink on your cardstock. But you can also, get my hair out of the way, use this die, because this is a hybrid embossing folder. Place it right there on the front until it kind of locks into place, and put your paper in. You can ink it up first, then place it, then put your paper in, close it up, and run it through your stamp, cut, and emboss machine, and you will get a lot of fun things. But it also has all of these fun extra dies as well. So there's these detailed patterns that can go on top of the hearts, or you can literally, instead of embossing, you can just cut out these hearts and put these on top of them. We also have these 2 smaller hearts and some leafy stuff, these sweethearts, and this can make a nice border, and this makes a fantastic sentiment strip for one of the stamps in the stamp set. So I'm going to put these aside. Now, please forgive me, I had a lot of difficulty on the day I put this together, so I'm going to be redoing it. But I wanted to see it in both Flirty Flamingo and Real Red, which are the 2 colors aside from gold that are specifically pointed out as coordinating with this paper. And then I finally stamped this image and I went to put the stamp away and it fell out of my hands and did that. And then I was trying to see if this stamp would fit in these, and or if these would, you know, by taking this and putting it over here, but I'd already rinsed them off with water, and so it dripped water and made that lovely stuff. But you can still see quite easily how lovely these stamps work on cardstock. The different sentiments, how they're going to look, and I also messed up that one, so I did do it again. So I definitely need to redo this whole thing, not just for me, but for you guys as well, in case I show it again. Right now I have every stamp in here on a block. I don't know that we're going to use all of them today, but we might. So we have two different hearts. We have this flowers and these flowers, and then we have a lot of fun and awesome sentiments to play with today. We are using potentially Flirty Flamingo and or Real Red ink today, and because I'm not totally sure exactly everything I want to do, I do have some extra paper, just, you know, copy paper that's been used, so that I can kind of play and see if I like my thoughts. Fairly basic. It's going to have this Flirty Flamingo card base. I have a basic white square, and then this is one of those designer series papers. What happened to that? Where did it go? Oh my goodness, I had the whole sampler ready to show you too, and that seems to have gone away somehow. How did that happen? Best laid plans of mice and men. Oh, there it is. It was underneath the catalog. Not what we wanted. All right, so this is the Most Adored specialty paper that is on page 9 in the Celebration brochure. As I said, the A side is all got gold foiling. You can see how pretty shiny it is. And then the B side is not shiny, but very fun patterns in those Flirty Flamingo and Real Red, and some basic white as well. So you have this one, which we're using today, this one, which we're using today, and then there's these others that we're not, well, we're using this one today. And I love this paper. It is my favorite. Yay. All right, so we're just going to start by gluing this piece down. Now, actually, no, I'm going to stick with my plan. I'm going to do the hearts. I wanted to show the hearts. I just have a hard time putting the pretty stuff on the back when it's not showing, which is why one of the cards that we're doing today is actually very intentionally going to be showing off that both sides of the paper. And I'll probably have to do some with this one too, just because I think it's pretty. So literally we're going to end up with it there, and we're going to have this here, and we're going to want to stamp our sentiment, the Just For You, let me get it, in Real Red on our Flirty Flamingo strip that I already die cut for us. It is a lot easier to die cut the paper and then stamp and get it lined up than the other way around, and making sure you have enough, or at least for me it is. Oh, I do need to switch glasses just because it is a little more delicate, and sorry if my head is in the way. All right, so I'm just kind of making sure I'm even on each side, and then up and down. Press it, lift off, and it just fell off, which is awesome. That's what we like. All right, so now the question is, am I going to put it up on dimensionals on this, or put it up on dimensionals with this glued down? I'm not totally sure yet. So if I were to glue this down and put it up on dimensionals, I think I like that better. So this is going to need minis, and I've got some minis here. Yeah, I'm going to like that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and place these down on the cardstock first. I want to make sure my hearts are going in the right direction and even on the 3 sides. All right, then I want to glue this strip down evenly on the lower level, like we're placing a nameplate for the fancy picture. And then we're just going to layer our little fun strip on top of that, just like that. So very easy, very basic, but pretty. All right, so now we want a sentiment on the interior, and I think I'm just going to go with the To My Valentine across the top. On my basic white. And then I think I'm going to bring in the Flirty Flamingo. And just down here in the corner, give us a little bit of a flower. And go ahead and put some adhesive on the back side of that. Come on, there we go. And place it on the interior of the card. Lining it up again on those 3 sides. And pressing it down when I'm done. So there's our interior, plenty of space to write a personal greeting and our very pretty, simple, pretty card. So that's our first card done. Yay! Now we're going to move on to our second card, and there are bits and bits and bits, and some of the bits have decided to go wandering on this one, but this is the one where we're going to be showing both sides of the paper. And so we're going to have this on the outside and this on the inside. And we're going to use, again, the same Flirty Flamingo card base, but I cut it off at 3/4 of an inch. So I can use that bit of Flirty Flamingo paper for creating elements for this card, which I have done. So what we're going to do is run a line of seal along this edge on the Designer Series paper. And then I'm going to line it up with this cardstock base and make sure I am very well lined up. And then I'm going to press this little corner down. All right, and then I'm going to get my bone folder and just make sure it's really good and sealed. Okay, so here is the way the card is going to open up, and then you're going to have that lovely, beautiful interior as well as the exterior. But I don't like this, so I want to give it a little transition, so I just cut a small strip of real red cardstock that I'm going to place over that. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back side of that. And aligning it up to the top. Bring it all the way down to the bottom. And there we go. Yay. All right. Now, here's where we're not totally sure. I may not even want to do it completely. So if I do this one, I'm going to want to use Celebrating You as my sentiment, what I'm thinking, and then just add some other little flourishes in there. And I definitely am going to want to use some other embellishments. So I'm thinking I want to use this gold twine. So let's start with that. We're going to wrap it in a bow around this part to dress it up some. And it's tucked under really good because I haven't used it yet. So this is from our Simply Elegant trim, which I'm not sure if it's now online only or if it's still in the annual catalog, but I think it's still in the annual catalog. Please correct me if I am wrong. All right, so I placed this on the interior of the card, and then I'm just going to tie a nice bow with it, or try to anyways. That's always fun on live video. Can you do it? Can she do it? All right. I think I'm going to want to double knot it just because it's really squirrely on its own, and I don't feel like I'm going to get a really good tie down on the base if I don't. All right, so there we go. It's still loose enough I can move it around, which I do want. And then I'm going to create my loop on the side that's still attached to the spool and go through like that. Yeah, this doesn't hold well, but we're going to make it do what we want. All right, now we need our snips to cut that end as well. And we're going to move it over just a little bit. And one of the things I really like to do to help with securing things, and I'm only going to do this on the center of the bow, is put a little glue dot down and place that tie right there in the center. I'm going to tighten it one more time, loosen a little bit, and press down and get a little bit more trim. There we go. All right, I like that. So now, let's see. I've only got one of these, so I think I'm going to do it in real red. I'm going to place it down just like that with the celebrating U. Very nice. And then if I want to, I'll be layering it up on top of this. But I also wanted to see about a smaller version. So when I first was planning it, I was planning this nice small version, but I felt like it just wasn't going to take up enough space on the front of the card. And then I feel like this might be taking up a little bit too much space on the front of the card, so I keep going back and forth to what I want. But I think I do like this, so what I'm going to do is put a seal on the back of the white. And I definitely want to use these little leafy bits in the corners. But I don't want it to go too far off of this corner because I don't want it to go too far off of the card when I put the card together. So it's at a very, very slight angle. And approximately the same amount of stuff coming. There's not enough glue there, so let's fix that. That's why it's not holding. It's like, hold please. All right, there we go. And this is why I don't usually stamp with my hair down. My hair gets into everything. All right, so now I'm just going to kind of pick up my Flirty Flamingo layer. And this is the Nesting Essentials dies, which are really fun. And kind of line it up where I think I'm going to want it. And I think I want this tilted out a little bit more, as with this. All right. And then if I place it on the card, there. Okay, so I'm going to put that up on dimensionals, and I do think I'm going to stick with that. I'm still using the edge pieces. Yay me. I love the edge pieces. They make me happy. Okay. we go. Got that one up. And one more. And I am still loving my Glass Mat Studio, guys. So if you're thinking of joining to get the Glass Mat Studio, do it. It is worth it. I love it. So right now that's written in Sharpie and it is going to come right up with water, I promise. If you watched the video I did on Saturday, you saw that I showed I left stuff on this mat for 18 hours and cleaned it up with primarily water. I also did use a little bit of alcohol for just a small amount of it, but it was primarily water that I used to clean up, including Sharpie, which was amazing. All right, so now I'm thinking I might want just a little bit more. And so I literally have a bunch of little pieces that I can play with and use from the dies. So I've got little hearts in a few colors. I've got more of these in a couple of colors. And then I've got more of the leafy bits in some colors. I have the embossed pieces that came out of the die and emboss, the hybrid part, which are really fun to play with. So I'm trying to think, how do I want to do this? You know, if I'm going to do it that way, I think I'm going to want the red little bits if I'm going to use that. So this is how the creative process works with Michelle. I just sort of put some things together and play around until I'm happy with what I have. But I've also thought about, oh, come on. Let me get them out. Get them out. There we go. So these are just those little hearts that are just an individual die, and I could layer these layered bits over the top is one option down here. You know, I could use Flurry Flamingo Real Red. I could do a variety of things, but I think I really want to show that embossed one and this guy. But maybe I'll put this guy up there and that down there. What do you think? I think I'm liking that. And we have landed on a design. Now I got my dimensionals again. And I'm going to put one on this side and cut some for the other side. Whoops. We do not want it showing. No slips showing. That was one of the horrible things about being a child and going to church with a really pretty slip on. It makes you feel very pretty, but then when your slip shows, then it's embarrassing. But anyway. Yep, I like that. So I'm going to get my Tombow liquid glue and my offset tweezers that came with my embossing set from, I think it's in the online only now, but it was in a mini catalog a little bit ago. I'm just adding just a little bit of glue, not a lot, because I don't want it, you know, gooping out and making a mess of my card. So now we have too much glue. Yay! We'll put that extra glue there. And actually, let me totally put it there and grab up little bits from here. There we go. So now I have just a little bit of glue everywhere. And I'm just going to put it right there and use the end of my offset tweezers to press it down onto the card. Alright, I'm going to cap my Tombow again. I don't know why it's coming out so fast, but it is. We're going to push these to the side for now. And I think for the front of the card, I'm happy with that. Now we need the inside. And we said celebrating you. So let's add the You Are Most Loved to the inside. How about that? You are most loved. So pretty. All right, and then I think I want to find my little itty bitty heart. This one. Yes. And once again, I'm going to go with the Flirty Flamingo. I like adding the two colors together, but this time I'm going to put it over here in the right, in the little corner down there. And that's a very pretty little accent for the card. So I'm going to, and you can add that to your envelopes and all kinds of things. It's really a very fast and easy and very pretty decoration to add on. Okay. Happy there. All right, card number 2 is complete. Yay! Doing good, doing good. We have one more to do. And this one is going to be the most complicated. All right. So you can see I have some bits here, and some bits are wanting to go south. And then I have this thing. So this is what happens after you've run paper through the hybrid embossing folder with the die. So if you do a 6x6 sheet, you're going to get 9 little hearts with the different embossing bits. And you're also going to get these fun little hearts around it. But you can cut them and use them as elements in cards. And that's what I'm doing today. So I have a thick basic white cardstock layer. And I'm going to go to the back side. And what I want to do is line these up so that I have this, you know, showing on this side of the paper, showing on the outside, which means I have to have that part showing above. And I've already decided I wanted this one for the middle to be showing with the white out front, which means this one I want to show that way. All right, so we're going to get the Tombow glue and just put a little bit in the corners. I'm using the bits that were too much from the last piece. Just pulling them up off of my silicone mat, easy as pie. All right, and because it is Tombow, it's going to be able to move around a little bit as needed. So if I don't get a good solid fit, I'm not that worried about it. All right, so then we're going to do the same on the bottom since we don't have to worry about lining it up as much with this paper. And let's grab up a little bit more of that glue and put it down there. All right. And then lining it up so that there's no, it's completely covering up. So now we have those 2 hearts on the underside. Okay. And then for this one, I'm going to try and not get crazy with the glue. There we go, 4 dots. Very fast, very easy. And we want these hearts to be showing as much as possible. So I'm going to once again line it up over the opening and press until I have it. Get the little drying glue off my fingers because that's also wanting to stick. And now this is what I've got. All right, so now I want to use my seal to place this on my card base, but before I do, I'm wanting to do some stamping off with, where did it go? There. All right. So literally I'm going to have this kind of being about here, but I want there to be some extra visually stimulating stuff. And so I'm going to use my Flirty Flamingo and stamp once down there and then come in and go out that way and back in and just giving it some extra prettiness, I guess is the word. and visual interest. All right, let's then get some up here and some down here. There. So then when we place this over, yes, that I like. Okay. Where did my other stuff run off to? I had some other selections. Come on. There we go. Okay. So what I think I'm going to want with this one is I'm going to be doing my sentiment this way, and I want this also stamped off, just one on here. So it's very light. And then we're going to come in with the sentiment I adore you in full red. Uh-oh. And that's where, let's see, let's do it slightly differently anyways. Because that's not the sentiment I really wanted to use on this card. Where did my leafy go? There's my leaf. All right, stamp it off again. Okay, and place it lightly there. All right. We're going to use the sentiment with all my heart. This way. There, that I like. Okay. And I was wanting to do it with this. All right, so I have selected 2 red and 1 Flirty Flamingo of these delicate hearts that I was thinking of using. But as I look more, I think I prefer just to put this one on. So once again, I need to get my Tombow glue and just get little drops. And since it's really wanting to flow heavy, I'm keeping it in a, very easy position and only hitting the bigger spots on the paper. All right. What did I do with my, there they are, my tweezers. It's just easier to place them this way. And then use the end to press it all down. All right, so there's that. And then I can, I know what I want to do. I want to cut this end off a little bit, so I'm going to get my paper trimmer. And make sure that I'm going to be able to still have some border on the back side. All right. There we go. use my seal. Whoopsie. Dropping is not a good plan. All right. Then we're going to line it up this way. Get it up in the better position. There we go. Then we're going to do dimensionals. There they are. So we'll do some longer snips for this one because it is a longer piece of paper. There, and then we'll use that last bit down here. And now we've used up another sheet of dimensionals. Yay! We're going to take the backings off and line it up with that Flirty Flamingo edging on this. Right about there. And then I think I want to use these rhinestone basic jewels and just spiffy up the card. So got, whoops, there we go, those, and then I think I'm going to want some down here too, going in the opposite direction, so it's focal pointing me down to the sentiment strip a bit. And so that is our third card for the outside. Now the next thing I want to attempt is I want to see if I can fit, I'm going to start with Flirty Flamingo just because if I do decide to go real red, I can just put it into the real red pad without worrying about it. So what I want to see, because I'm still not sure, is if this will literally fit inside. It does, but not ideally. So what we're going to do, we're going to stay with the Flirty Flamingo and place it in the center right there. Okay, and with one of our real red pieces, we're going to glue that down. This is how card designing works. You just sort of play around with things until you find what you like. And right now, I'm not liking that big glob of glue on the end of my Tombow, so I'm just going to just barely touch with the bit I pulled off with my bone folder. And this will clean off really easy. I'm not too worried about it. But I don't want that giant amount of glue on this whole piece here, because it will definitely ooze out. All right, move the glue. Place carefully this inside and press down. And then down here, we're going to let them know, I adore you. It's down here in the corner, sorry. And that is our third card. Pretty fun. I'm going to close these up so I don't end up with any disasters, because we don't like ink catastrophes here. They make us very sad. And we're going to clean up our mess, put our stuff away, because we don't want to be sad and not be able to find it when we want to work with it next. And the embossed pieces don't quite fit in here, but everything else does, which is pretty fun. And then I'll pick up the rest later, but for now, let's get those cards out for you so you can see them again. Put our Tombow away. Multi-purpose glue. All right, so here are the 3 cards we made today. And the make and takes you'll get if you do that $35 purchase before shipping and taxes would be to make 2 each of these cards. So you get the paper, you get the die cuts, the little bits. You provide the ink, the stamps, and the adhesive, and I'll send you the embellishments and the paper, all pre-cut along with a PDF for that $35 purchase. You can easily pick the Adoring Hearts bundle, like I said, page 18 in your mini catalog, and that would be $53. So that would totally qualify you for the make and takes, and it will qualify you to get a whole package of this gorgeous Most Adored paper, which again is my favorite paper. I love it so much. Please let me know what you think of the cards. Let me know what you want to see on Saturday. Still not sure timing yet. I'm going to be coming on and going over some more celebration items with you, and then I'll be back on Sunday with a stepped up card, which I already have designed with this set. I'm having to keep it held in abeyance because it is a card I designed for a swap, and they haven't quite all gotten out yet, but they will by Sunday. So I'll be able to show you the swap I did with this bundle and paper, which was a lot of fun, I must say. All right, well, everybody, this has been Harmony Stamps with Michelle. I'm Michelle, and I'm so happy you decided to join me today, whether you were with me live or on the replay. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and it has been my pleasure to show you how to make these 3 awesome cards. Come back again on Saturday, where I'm going to be covering some of that lovely celebration product, and again on Sunday, and Sunday is at 2. Have a good day.